Family, let's talk plain tonight. Religion didn't bring us together, it turned us against ourselves. It broke our identity, it confused our soul, it made us enemies to our own people. And tonight, we deal with the facts, not the belief that kept us blind. Yeah. You know who this is. I'm the Honorable Junns. Yes, the Honorable Junns, the Truthbreaker. You understand? And welcome back to the Redeem or Destroy podcast, where we deal with the facts over beliefs and awakening the kidnaps worldwide. Round of applause for that. Family, we're not broken because we're weak. We're broken because they gave us something built to break us from the inside. They gave us religion that told us to love enemies but fear ourselves. They gave us a religion that replaced our ancestors with their heroes like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Samuel, Sam, whoever, Paul, Jesus. Those are their stories. That has nothing to do with us. They gave us a religion that said we are cursed, but they are the chosen. Meanwhile, they're doing all the chaos, evil, and wicked, but it seems to not affect them at all. But the people that's doing good, the loving, the caring, are the ones that's being unalive. And when we defend it like it came from us, yes, and we defend it like it came from us, we got brothers that's arguing about this philosophy. And relationships that you have with people are no longer there because of this philosophy. Okay? And we defend it like it came from us, but it didn't. It came from the same people who chained us, whipped us, named us, renamed us, and rewrote who we are. I want you guys to meditate on that just for a little bit. Family. Why do you think our grandparents argue over scriptures, but never over identity? It's because religion didn't just divide us from power, it divided us from the facts. It divided us from each other. Things that nobody can dispute. We can't argue that. Everything that I'm saying right now is factual. Some of us became holy. Some of us became hopeless. Some of us became confused. Some of us became lost. Some of us became enemies to our own blood. This is a fact. You can't dispute this, people. These are the facts. We became enemies to each other. And you see it today. You ask one black person what they believe, and they turn on another black person like they worked for the system. We fight over beliefs, never over facts, never over culture, never over purpose. Everything is literally scriptural based. Even though we can't prove absolutely nothing, we still stand on the belief over the facts. And that's the problem. Family, let me break this down for you clean. Religion made us forget who we are. It made us ashamed of who we are. It made us think everything African is evil. I was told that voodoo is evil. I was told that. Mind you, my entire family participated in voodoo. And the actual people that do the voodoo would tell you, nah, it's not evil. You can do evil things with it because it's a divine power, but it's not evil. And I was told that it was evil. And they rise to to prove a point was giving me celebrities, sellouts, people that's married to the other side, or philosophy or written documentations, not written by us, not written by the actual people who participated in voodoo, but by people that was on the outskirts looking in. These are the ones that we're using to validate why African spirituality or anything El Kebulan practices is evil, right? Everything European is holy. Everything about us is dark. Everything about them is the light. I am the way, the truth, the light. No man gets to the Father. Whose Father? Which Father? The Orsinian, because that's who the father of the Bible is referring to. When the Council of Nicaea took place, all of them had to give honor and worship to the Orsinian family. That's where your Pope come from. That's where Christopher Columbus, the Colognes come from. Yes, do your homework. Everything is there for you. Okay? Now ask yourself that. Is that salvation? Because that is not salvation. That is psychological warfare. That is psychological warfare. You're psychologically being spiritually, physically, emotionally destroyed, removed from who your core essence are and is. This is not me making this up. These are the facts. Just look around. Just look at what religion is doing. We still divided by it. We're still arguing over gods that never argued over us. We arguing over gods that never argued over us. We got brothers saying Yahweh's the name. You got another brother saying Yahawashai, Yahakukah is the name. You got brothers that saying Sunini is the name. You got other brothers. It's just we're calling on all these deities. And we're referring it to a story that we can't trace back to nothing black. We still arguing over gods that never argued over us. We still defending the books that never defended us. In fact, these books justify your enslavement. From the Quran to the Biblos, it justified your enslavement and gave bold excuses into why you was enslaved. Nobody ever asked the question, well, if the laws of God was in the commandments and the commandments is only found in the Bible, then how do you explain the Arabic slave trade? They didn't call us cursed people in the Bible, in the Quran. See, you guys don't understand exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. You guys don't understand. We still defending books that never defended us. Just defended or gave a reasoning to your genocide. When you read the Bible thoroughly, right? They said that Ham is the black race, right? The Canaanites came from the seed of Ham, which means that there was black people. What did God told Joshua to do? Exactly. And also take the little young black girls, and if they want to lay with them or pimp them, then they could do so. That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. Then you look, when you read it even thoroughly, who was being unalive? Which firstborn, which race, which nationality of the firstborns was being unalive? Hmm? When we left Egypt, we're going according to the word. When we left Egypt and we created a golden calf, the in the ground opened up and sucked the people down. When we walked for 40 years, isn't that black people? Black people that left Egypt. We already know that it's scientifically impossible for a European. I repeat, it's psychologically impossible, mentally, physically impossible, excuse me, for a European to be enslaved in that part of Africa where there's no AC. They will be unalive. That is a fact. So we justify a book that literally justifies our enslavements, our punishment, death, torture, kidnap, rape, you name it. It's all coming from the Abrahamic story. And we defend it. And we say that, nah, my brother, this story is about us. This is future prophecy. Future prophecy, how? Where? What are the signs? Show me where in the Biblos it said that we will be, the entire economy will be overtaken by AI. Now this is a story from beginning to the end. This is the Alpha and the Omega from the beginning to the end. So where can I find the story about the AI generated, the robots? Where can I find that? So let's just talk about what really is important. Let's talk about how nobody hates black people more than a black person who thinks God told them to. That is the deepest level of control. Nobody hates a black man more than us. We hate each other. Me doing this right now, you're going to find somebody to find an excuse to have some level of hatred. But a European would say the same exact thing that I'm saying. You would, not only would you give it an air, you will believe it to a degree, if not in its full totality, because of the complexion. That comes from through religion. That comes from religion. That comes from years and years being fed this westernized Euro-Christian ideology. And now that we are in the age of Aquarius, which means the age of information, now that we are in the age of information, and you guys are starting to wake up, you guys are now saying that this story is solely about you. But nothing can be proved scientifically, geographically. None of these things can be proven. Archaeologically, where's the art? Where's the artifacts? I don't want to hear about no paintings and no sculpture paintings. I don't want to hear about none of that. I need physical documentations. Because these painters and these writers and stuff like that you guys are referring to, nobody knows the actual origin of who these painters are, who these writers are. Nobody knows the actual name of these people. So you're telling me that we're supposed to just, I guess, embrace that for just what it is. Oh, my favorite, this is my favorite one, guys. You know, the devil can't change everything. Meanwhile, this man is messing with the sky. Meanwhile, the man is messing with the newborn children. Meanwhile, this man is causing a complete ruck in this entire world. And you really think that he's worried about not being able to change the words? Yeah. I want you guys to really think about that. I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to really think about how the God of the big blows have caused other men to despise other black men. You guys don't even understand the entire book is solely about division and conquer. Divide and conquer. Let's go back from the beginning, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna show you. Let's start with Adam and Eve. The situation occurred when they ate the forbidden. What was the first thing that they wanted to do? Separate. They had a child, they had children, right? They had Cain and Abel. Abel was unalive. Cain remains. Cain was then kicked out. Right? Let's fast forward to Abraham. Abraham kicked over his father's murals and the things that he believed in, which is also another attack on the black race, because only African people got nothing but statues in an abundance amount. I mean, I'm just saying. And the father was willing to have his son be unalive. I can't make this stuff up. Right? Cool. Abram and Lot. Never once did they say, yo, man, we're just going to walk through here. You're going to be my next door neighbor. No. He said, listen, it's either you go west and I'll go right, you go north and I'll go south. Division in itself. Then you have Isaac, Ishmael, and Isaac. Division in that. Division between Sarah and Hagar. Then you have Isaac, who has children. The division between Esau and Jacob. Right? And I forgot to even mention the story of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. But you guys should know that you guys should know where I'm going with this. Everything within this story was only to promote division. Even in the New Testament, you got the people that solely believe in the word of Jesus. And then you got those that solely believe on the Pauline manuscript. The Paulinian, if I'm saying it right. They rather listen and follow into what Paul has to say. The vision in that. They gave you a Judas story. Your Savior knew that he was going to be betrayed. The vision in that. The list goes on. But tonight, we breaking that. We exposing it. We destroying it. That's what we doing here. Because once your mind wakes up, nobody can control you ever again. Okay? Once your mind wakes up, you can never be controlled ever again. The goal and the objective is to come back to who you are. Before you jump the gun and you saying that the story of the story of the Bible is yours, take the time out and ask yourself these questions. This God of the Bible, what did it do for me? This God of the Bible, where was he when I was in the time of need? Where was he when I was in the time of grief? Ask yourself these questions. You see, the time is now for brothers and sisters to wake up and understand that certain things is now right. It's time for brothers and sisters to wake up and realize that, hold on, my man, I can't get mad at you for what you believe in. Even if you choose to believe in that, you believe in that, but never allow it to go against the moral and the principles that we stand on. And what is that? Respecting your DNA. Nothing else matters but the respect of your DNA. Because your DNA goes back to your ancestors. Your DNA goes back to the soul that you have, which connects to the soul of universe. That when you pass on, you get put back into the soil. These are the things that people are not paying attention to. Do you know that before they set us free as slaves, the number one thing that they had to ensure that they got done was to establish 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 different demographics, 16 different ideologies and perspectives when it's pertaining to religion. You got those that wanted to be 7-day Adventists. You had those that want to be full-fledged Catholics. You got those that want to be Christians. You had those that wanted to be a Protestant. Mind you, all these people are supposedly reading from the same book. You had those that wanted to be Mormons. Mind you, these people are still reading from the same book. You look at the Hebrew Israelite community. It's like 15,000 of these dudes with different beliefs. People will be in these organizations having doubt with what the information that's being brought forth. Subconsciously, they don't even know that this is part of the trends. Where it's like, where you don't even believe half of the things that's being said. Like, wait, hold on, this don't make sense, bro. All of that is intentional. Because the objective is to always keep you guys apart. If you have a leg on one side of the street and the leg on the other side of the street, even though it's connected, how can you walk? If you have your hands up top and the other person got his hands at the bottom, how can you carry? These are the things that we're not paying attention to. Understand that the universe makes no mistakes. It's man that's making the mistakes. The universe makes no mistakes. You would never see an elephant in cahoots with a rhino. You would never see a cheetah in cahoots with a leopard. You would never see a bear in cahoots with a jaguar. You would never see a brown bear with a white bear. You would never see it. Because the universe don't make mistakes. The universe does not make any mistake, guys. The universe is just as potent, as original as the very creation of it. It's man that's doing the confusion. It's man that's making the mistakes. It's man that's telling another man that it's okay to wear a wig and go outside and sing kumbaya. It's men that's telling women that it's okay to do, etc., live your best life. This is us. We're the ones that's making these mistakes, guys. Nobody else. It's just us. When you look around and you see what's going on, you will see that the core principle of it all stems back to religion. Now, I don't want to be long-winded. I just wanted to just bring forth this conversation. Because again, this is a conversation that needs to be had by any means necessary. By any means necessary, these are the conversations that needs to be had. And if we're not having these conversations, then who will have it? Because we already know that this podcast scene is oversaturated with weirdos. So I'm going to leave it as that, guys. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. I came to you guys live. And once again, people, always remember, people, respect your DNA. Are you dumb or are you dumb? And I'm a holler. One.